Hello everyone, and welcome to Silmarillion Total War, a mod based on the first age of Tolkien's works. And here we have a 3v4 siege at a lovely Elven port. We'll start off with the attacking blue team here. And here we have Leech as the hidden city of Gondolin. And it looks like he has 1, 2, 3, 4 units of Scout to the Tree. These are a slinger skirmishing unit. They are able to hide in forested terrain. And they do have armor-piercing damage, but it is more like chip damage. It will take place over a long period of time. However, with 4 units of these, he'll be able to lay down a lot of damage at medium range. Behind them, we have 3 units of Shield Bearers of the Tower. Now, the Shield Bearers are probably the tankiest spear unit in the game. So these guys will be able to hold the front line for a long period of time. Behind them, we have 3 units of Guardsmen of the Harp. These are a medium infantry sword and board unit. They're basically the bread and butter of Gondolin if you want to bring heavy numbers. They also have the ability to hide, as do the scouts in forested terrain. Behind them we have 3 units of Armorers of the Hammer. This is a armor-piercing Warhammer unit. They do have multiple levels of armor upgrades available if you so choose. And mixed in among them is the most elite infantry unit in Gondolin, the Lords of the Golden Flower. They have very low numbers, but are extremely skilled and damaging. As a two-handed sword unit, they are vulnerable to ranged fire, so you want to keep that in mind. Let's see, next to him, we have Tundra's Fox as Finarfin. Now, Finarfin is one of the tankiest factions in the game in that their faction basically relies on staying power. Their job is basically to bunker down in a position on a field battle and let the enemy come to them and just wear them down. And they are one of the few factions in the game that doesn't have any cavalry units, so they're heavily reliant on spears and javelins. Although it looks like he's got, yes, 2 marksmen of Nargothrond. This is a highly skilled specialty archer unit. They have a split projectile that can be very damaging. However, because of the high cost and high skill of this unit, it cuts down on your numbers. Behind them, it looks like we have a mix of the Bridge Wards, one of the few pike units in the game, backed up by Wardens of Nargothrond, an armor-piercing spear unit. So it looks like he's got 3 groupings of that. Going to give his line a lot of stability on the attack. Behind them we have the Arquini Mormon Gilwa. This is a skilled 2-handed sword unit. Like the Lords of the Golden Flower next to them, they are extremely damaging, however they are vulnerable to ranged fire. Next to them we have 2 catapult crews, consisting of the Shield Bearers of Ladros. Now this is another Warhammer unit, not as skilled as the Armorers, but it can provide you some extra damage once the catapults are used up. Now, catapults in this mod are not as damaging as in Reforged. You're not going to get huge splash damage, but if you get a good hit, you can take down 10 to 15 units at a time. It looks like we have Hyperius as the House of Ulfang. Now, Ulfang is known as being primarily a Cav faction, and they also back that up with some extremely damaging Falx units. However, because most of their faction is based on high damage, they're going to be very fragile, kind of like a glass cannon. For example, these Ravagers of Himring, even though they are anti-cav and do have locked morale, they're not going to handle well ranged fire. So you want to protect these guys or get them in as quickly as possible. Behind them we have the Marauders of Himring, which are an axe throwing unit. Give you some medium range punch. And then in front of them we have the Forgers of Lothlin. This is a javelin unit which I believe have an armor piercing projectile. As you can see, they are wearing basically nothing at all except a small wooden shield. Let's go up the hill here. We've got, we'll start at the front of the army here, Scouts of Lothlin. This is another slinger unit. Not as good as the Scouts, but they'll also do chip damage over time. And if they can waste some ammunition, then that's all good. Behind them we've got some Ravagers, more of two-handed Fox units, more Marauders, the axe throwing unit. Behind them more Marauders, Ravagers. Here we have one of the only dedicated stable infantry units that Ulfang has. These are the Thanes of Ulfang, a one-handed axe and shield unit. Will provide much needed stability on the front line. Behind them we have the Ulsarks of Himring, a Berserker class unit. Now Berserkers are unique in the mod in that they can be extremely damaging. Not many units can take these on one-on-one. However, they do have small numbers, and they are generally vulnerable to ranged fire. You can also knock them out of Berserker mode with arrows or javelins. And once they're out of that Berserker mode, they're much less damaging in combat. Behind everyone here, we have the Sons of Ulfang, a two-handed Falx unit. This is one of the more elite infantry units in Ulfang, so we'll see if these guys can get in and do business this game. Then we have Remy as the Kingdom of Belegost. Belegost has a lot of similarities with Finarfin in that they have a lot of heavily armored units that you can place on the front line to take the damage, while javelins and other skirmish units shoot from behind. They do have a lot of staying power, so they should be good on the attack. Looks like we got 3 units of Wardens of the Emerald Throne. This is one of 2 javelin, I believe, axe and board units. And these are the more elite infantry that you can bring. They don't have a lot of damage power in melee, however, they make up for that with high skill and higher armor. So these guys will last in prolonged combat. Behind them we've got 2 units of Ember Guard, a special crossbow unit. Their projectiles have a staggering effect, so they'll be able to keep a unit knocked on the back foot and unable to really engage in melee combat. They can also help control a field battle if you want to shoot specialty units or cav. Behind them we have the High Thanes of Gabagothel. This is probably the most elite infantry unit that Belegost can bring in terms of sheer damage. And I personally love this unit for their yellow and gold armor. See, over here we've got 2 units of crossbowmen, the Iron Arbalists. Next to them we have a mortar unit, the Dragon's Breath. Now this is a locked morale spear unit for the artillery crews, so even if you kill the rest of this army, this unit will stick around. Next to them we have the Iron Halberdiers. Now these halberdiers can take ranged fire pretty well, so you can plant them on the front line and protect yourself for a little bit. However, you're going to want to mix and match them with, say, the Wardens of the Emerald Throne. And then next to them we have 2 units of the Horde Keepers of Gabagothel, which are a heavy spear unit. Let's see if I missed anything else. I think I missed the General's unit here. Yes, it looks like the Dragon Slayers of Azagahal. Now this is an elite halberdier unit, highly damaging, however they have low numbers. So you'll need to get good value off this unit to justify the cost. And here we go with the red team. Looks like we have Belagost as Falas. Now, Falas is a faction primarily known for their skirmishing, especially medium skirmish javelins. They can also bring artillery crews, which come with full unit sizes, which can help pad the numbers. Looks like he's got Warriors of Sirion, the more elite medium infantry that you can bring for a Falas. And these can come with an armor upgrade. Next to them we have, looks like 3 units of the Marines of Eglarist. The Marines are a armor-piercing javelin unit that also doubles as a spear unit. So this is a very good unit for zoning out cav or monstrous units. Next to them we have the Marines of Brithambar, a light infantry precursor jav unit. Can just pad out your army and stagger the enemy as they approach. Behind them we got the elite heavy infantry for Falas, the Aran Kirlim. And this unit, whereas a lot of the infantry units for Falas may lack damage or staying power, this unit will hang around for the majority of the game. Looks like we got 2 catapults with full crews of Warriors of Eglarest, another sword and board unit. Looks like we got a full complement of range power here. We got the Rangers of Brithambar, looks like 3 units. This is the less elite archer unit that Falas can bring, although they are skilled in combat. And then there are more elite, heavily armored brethren, the Marksmen of Balar. Very good in melee once they run out of ammunition. Here we have Captain Gervais as the Guarded Realm of Doriath. Probably the most well-rounded faction you'll see here today. Here out front we have the Sword Host of Region, a heavy infantry sword and board unit. Can provide a lot of staying power and soak up a lot of the javelins that Falas is going to be bringing their way. Behind them we have a detachment and a full unit of Shield Bearers of Region. Doriath's, in my opinion, one of the best shielded spear units in the game. And then next to them we have the Donath in Mablong, Doriath's scariest unit. I don't even know what you would call this weapon except a giant mace, 2-handed mace. They're armor piercing, and if you get them involved with, say, trolls or other monstrous units, these will take them down quickly. Behind them we have the Tirn Lasdanen, a special axe-throwing unit. This is a unit that you're going to want to save for very important attacking or defending units as they come in, especially orc units that rely on their elites. And then we have a mixture of Axemen of the Girdle, which are an axe-throwing unit, and Wardens of the Girdle, a light infantry archer unit that is very cost-effective for what it offers. Not only good ranged punch, but also skilled Elven combatants once they run out of ammunition. Let's swing around here. We have 2 units of Warriors of Region. This is a 2-handed axe unit, extremely damaging on the charge. So if they need to plug in holes for the defense or take out heavily armored foes, that's the best unit they're going to have for that. Looks like he's got some more units up here. Yeah, he's got some Rangers of the Girdle. This is a archer unit that has poison projectiles, so if you want to do some morale shocks, that's the unit for that. Looks like he's got some more Axemen, Axe Guard. The Axe Guard, unlike their warrior brethren, are a axe and shield unit, so it's a good compromise between damage and stability. In front of them, we got more Axemen of the Girdle, Wardens, and Shield Bearers. And holding the front gate, we have Nifredir as Nogrod. Now, unlike Belagost, Nogrod is all about aggressiveness. Most of their faction lacks armor, or if they are armored, they're still susceptible to medium and long range damage. So you want to get into combat or draw the enemy in so that the chariots can do the damage. Looks like he's got a mixture of Beast Hunters and the Vault Wardens of Tumunzahar. One of the few pike units that the game offers. Looks like he's got Miners of Nogrod, a special Nafatoon unit. Can be highly damaging, although they provide low numbers. Up here we have the Engineers of Nogrod. Now this is an anti-cav chariot unit that has a special split shot projectile. So you'll want to use these guys at range and then save them mainly for cavalry because they aren't very good against infantry. Next to them we have the Axe Throwers of Nogrod, a axe throwing unit. The Siege Breakers of Tumunzahar are the opposite of the Engineers in that they are specially made for combating infantry. They have another explosive Nefatoon type projectile, and then they have an extremely damaging charge bonus. Next to them we have the Stone Hewers of Tumunzahar, which are two-handed axe unit. We have the Archers of Nogrod, some more Beast Hunters and Pikemen. Let's see here. We have the Forge Fire of Zirak. This is a missile cav unit that has fire projectiles. Good against light infantry units. And then we have more Archers of Nogrod. And let's see, some more Beast Hunters. I don't believe I touched on the Beast Hunters. Beast Hunters are a two-handed axe unit, which for dwarves have a very high speed, so you'll be able to cover distances very quickly. They're also very damaging in close quarters combat, but are very vulnerable to long range or medium range skirmishers, so you'll want to be very aggressive with these guys. And then we have one of the elite infantry units for Nogrod, the Warlords of Tumunzahar, a two-handed sword unit. So there we go. Alright, so we will return once the battle commences. Alright, it looks like the siege is going to begin with some skirmishing from both sides. Tundra's Fox is bringing up the marksmen, probably to shoot into these dwarven front line. But it looks like Captain Gervais is going to respond with some Wardens of the Girdle on the high ground. See, will that convince them to back off? Doesn't look like it. He's going to tank the ammo. It looks like everyone else is still making their way. Good. It looks like they're going to be attacking from all sides. Good. Let's see, what is this unit back here doing? So look, we got some Marksmen of Nagathron going out around. Maybe going to try to shoot from the high ground on this hill over here. And here we get a chance to see the special split shot projectiles of the marksman. Doesn't look like Nefredir is going to give him a chance, though. He's going to rush up with his Beast Hunters and Pikes, get right in their face. Which will be good because with a unit this expensive, you're going to want to use all of that ammunition. Looks like Leech is going to come in and support his ally. Provide some heavily armored spearmen to stop the advance of the dwarves. Although it looks like some of these foragers from Hyperius got caught up. They're going to want to get out of there quickly. They're not very good in close quarters combat. Let's see here. What do we got? Oh, it looks like the chariot came out. Decided to play. Nifredir taking some pot shots out of the Hyperion's Ulfang army. Although, for right now, it's just Marauders, so it's not the worst possible thing to lose. Yeah, it looks like it's just going to do some Overwatch damage. Oh, and here we go with the Siege Breakers. We'll see how much damage they can do. If they can manage to just worm their way through some of these more scarier units, they'll be able to just run roughshod over a lot of this infantry. Although with the catapults right there, they may get stuck. Yeah, oh man, that's a shame. It's a lot of money wasted right there in damage potential. But it looks like we got some back and forth between the catapults. At least from the defending catapults. As the dwarves continue to push in, get right in the face of the enemy. We've got some archers of Nagathron helping them out, targeting the scouts, it looks like. Alright, it looks like we got a hidden unit of cavalry over here. Or no, yeah, it's just the engineers targeting the marksmen. It's a good catch. If they're able to kill a few, it'll be worth it, although they won't want to stay in melee too long. The marksmen are very good in combat. Looks like this is the main theater of war right now, as Neferdir continues to push his advance. Oh, he's not going to want those stone hewers, yeah. Oh, that's some pretty good friendly fire there. It looks like he was trying to get some back shots with the catapult, taking out a few of their fellow countrymen. And I wouldn't recommend charging those into those armor-piercing spear units, although they're still managing to get through. Looks like some defender catapult shots. Getting pretty good arcs. Oh, I said that. There's some friendly fire there. Hopefully they don't rout too many of these units. They have low numbers to begin with, so they don't need that. Looks like the engineers are still having fun with the marksmen right now. Although, not too many of the units have been damaged yet. It looks like he's just going to sneak around and get some back shots with engineers. And here we go, Captain Gervais providing some support with his wardens. Looks like they're going after the bridge wards. Good target. They'll want to get rid of as many of these pikes as possible. Although if they still manage to hit some scouts, that's all well and good. More catapult shot. Or no, those aren't catapult shots. Those are the miners. These are the Nephitoons I mentioned. They do stagger enemies, and they do provide kills, but out of the dozens that are flying into the air here, only about 3 or 4 are actually going to die. Looks like, yeah, the engineers coming here and just taking shots out of these heavily armored spearmen. A lot of these guys are going to get up, but that's just more damage they're taking. Tundra's going to be able to zone out this cav, and it's not going to be able to get as many rear charges. So looks like they'll have that under control for the most part. Here we just have a duel of the catapults. Let's see, have they managed to hit any yet? No, it looks like they're going... Oh. Yeah, they managed to reduce this catapult. This one's... They still like they haven't been damaged too badly. Although if they had... We'll see if they have ammunition or not. They haven't managed to score any decisive hits yet. Oh, what is this? Oh, looks like Captain Gervais had some hidden lancers, the Outriders. Now these lancers are able to hide anywhere, and they're going to devastate these scouts. Yeah, they aren't able to shoot back, and looks like they've just been skirmishing with these axe throwers at the moment. I wouldn't say that's a good trade with the axe throwers versus the scouts, but you know, you gotta take what you can. And it looks like, yeah, they're going to get some axes downrange, but this isn't the type of unit you're going to want to zone out the cav with. You're going to want to use these Ravagers here, which is what Hyperius is bringing up. So yeah, some good initial charges, damaging some of these lightly armored skirmishing units, which can be annoying, especially if you have to use archers against them. They're not the kind of unit they're going to want to waste ammunition on. It looks like the dwarves are still pushing in, still getting that minor ammunition used. We'll see if this aggressiveness pays off. There is a carpet of bodies here, but I don't know if it was necessarily worth it with the loss of those chariots. But if they can kill some of these bridge wards, that'll be good. Yeah, I don't know if that catapult range is there. And here comes Neferdir, still being sneaky with these chariots. But it looks like, yeah, Leech and Tundras have that blocked off. They're not going to be worried about that for right now. And it looks like Hyperius is just trying to respond the best he can to these constant cav harassments. Oh, okay. It looks like with the help of the Ravagers, they were able to rout them, but it looks like they've come back. Hopefully he notices that in time before some of these units get rear charged. Well, let's take a look at the other side. It looks like the attackers have gotten in range here. Yeah, it looks like the Wardens are unleashing their precursor javelins, targeting the warriors. Looks like we've had some maybe artillery shots into these spear units. Yeah, that would be the work of the Dragon's Breath. You can see their poison, the residue of their poison projectiles, having roasted a spearman. And over here, yeah, it looks like Remy's leading the way with the Horde Keepers. Going to be taking this approach, but it looks like he's going to be met with a mix of warriors and Oran Kielim, so they're not going to be going anywhere this way for a while. And the Marines of Eglarest are going to be providing some armor-piercing javelins. They're going to kill a good number of these spears, but I don't know if that's necessarily what I would target with these, considering their low damage. And it looks like they're going to be in range of the Arbalists, although I don't know if they have quite the angle for that yet. Let's take a look back out here. Is the cavalry still being a nuisance? Yeah, it looks like the Outriders, no, they're just hanging out for right now. He's biding his time, is Gervais. Looks like so is Neferdir. Looks like they're going to focus on the infantry fight for right now. And looks like we still have just a full engagement here. More units being pushed up. Ooh, that's a nice shot with the catapult right into the Ravagers. It looks like they've burned through a lot of the heavy armored spear units and some of the more elite spear and bridge wards. Now they're relying more on numbers with the foragers and the guardsmen of the harp, which some of these units like the miners and the pike should do very well, along with the beast hunters. It's just going to be a matter of are they going to be able to do enough damage to this front line? Looks like Gondolin still has a lot of elite units left, as well as Tundras. See, yeah, he's still waiting, biding his time. Let's look over here to the other gate. Looks like we have a frontline engagement. The Wardens are moving up now that they've used their ammunition. Looks like, yeah, he's got his units up close to the wall here. This entryway is can be very intimidating with these superior archer positions. You aren't really able to fire back just due to their height and the angle. So the best option is just to get right up against the wall. Let's see over here. Looks like he's managed to get his Iron Arbalists. Maybe he can get some rear shots on these warriors. That'll help wear down their numbers, because the Horde Keepers by themselves aren't going to be able to push through right here. Looks like he's also got another unit of Arbalists. He's got some Dragon Slayers, Ember Guard, waiting in the wings. Alright, everything's quiet over here. Let's look at the front line over here. Oh no, it looks like they managed to get some overwatch here. Hyperius working with Tundra. Yeah, they're going to get some good shots here. And they're going to need it with this front line. Especially with the Vault Wardens mixed in with some Axe Guard. Let's see, will they have the angle with these Axe Throwers? We'll see. See, more of the dregs of Gondolin moving up. Alright, let's take a look over here. Those are, looks like, just routing units. Any more cav units coming around? Doesn't look like it right now, but it looks like we get to see the poison projectiles at work. Now, as you can see, they're only cooking maybe 5 or 6 guys at a time, if that, as they land. However, it's these poison clouds that are going to be the damage dealer, especially if you're fighting against low skill or low morale units. You'll have to be careful of friendly fire. He may need to bring those a little closer, but we'll see. Looks like more of his wardens are just shooting their precursor jabs in. I'm not sure exactly what they're targeting. Can't really tell with this poison's fog. I guess they're trying to go around the curve here, hit some of these warriors. And the slog continues up here. Oh, that's sad. Looks like some of Remy's Iron Arbalest got caught. Oh, that's okay though. It looks like he's got him on fire at will. Yeah, going to do some damage to these Iran Kirlin. I don't know if he's going to have the angle for these Ember Guard though. You need a pretty level line of sight. So we'll see how that goes. Looks like more reinforcements being poured into this area here. It looks like Rex is using this hill as kind of an overwatch position. Looks like he's just mowed down all of this support that Hyperius brought over. Although what little units he has are beginning to send some axes down in the backs of these Marines. We'll see if they've used their ammunition yet. They'll need to use those, especially against those scouts. They won't do a lot of damage against heavily armored units, but against lighter units they'll be effective. And it looks like... yeah, it looks like just a continual grind here. Those armors will be very effective against the dwarves, and their lines are getting very thin here, especially on the wings. These bridge wards have done a good job of wearing down the enemy. They're either going to need to bring these Marines in. I don't know if they've used their ammunition. They don't seem to be using it yet. Let's take a look at the dwarves here. Looks like the poison projectiles are shooting now into the sword host behind. Yeah, he's pushing this further, trying to reduce friendly fire as much as possible. Looks like, yeah, Warriors of Sirion against the High Thanes. They'll lose that fight pretty handily, especially in combination with the Halberts. Yeah. Okay, it's the Wardens. That's a lot of ammunition to be pouring against one unit, but, you know. You gotta take who you can. It looks like Neferdir's general just died at the hands of the armorers. Looks like Neferdir's going to be trying to do a rear charge here with the engineers. We'll see how well they do against the Ember Guard. If this was the Siege Breakers, this would be devastating, but the Ember Guard are pretty skilled. So we'll see. 117, not too bad. Hopefully he doesn't lose too many getting out of there. Yeah, he managed to get in and out without losing any. Good job. He's going to continue to just go... oh, thought he was going to go down there. Looks like he's going to target this unit again. Yeah, that's a good catch by Neferdir there. Not a lot of supporting units beside them. At least none that have the speed to come to these guys' aid. If he can go in and out and continue to do that damage, that'll be very good. We'll go through the mountain and through the into the woods here. Looks like the attackers have managed to win this narrow area here, and they'll start to make their way up. Now the defenders are going to have to start making a choice here, because with Hyperius coming in from this way, they're going to have to either retreat or plug this gap. Looks like they're a little slow on reaction time, because Hyperius is just going to be pouring in with what he's got. Let's see, if they still have ammunition with some of these skirmish units, that's going to be pretty bad on Ulfang. Sorry about that. Here we go. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like the defenders are going to have some good crossfire here with the Rangers of the Girdle and the Marines of Eglarest. However, they're going to save some of this Marine ammunition for some of the more dangerous units like the Thanes. The Ravagers, even though they are locked morale and do have a high charge value, they're not going to stand up too well against some of this range pressure, especially with all of these archers on Overwatch here. Let's see here. Looks like, yeah, Gondolin's just coming up with their scouts. Just try to wear them down with that slinger ammunition, and they're going to be able to do a lot of damage pretty quickly if he brings up multiple units of those scouts. Looks like ever more of Ulfang comes pouring in. Let's see. Yeah, they're going to be able to target them. That's a good call there. Oh, but he's not going to give them a chance. Hyperius is going to go up the hill, try to take this high ground. Still got his Ulsarks in the wings. And here we have the dwarves pouring in. It looks like they managed to just gradually grind down these elven forces under Captain Gervais. Rumi's doing a good job of just leveraging the dwarves' will to survive at this point. I don't know if this cavalry is going to be able to get out, though, from this possible rear charge. They've proven themselves to be pretty tanky, though, so we'll see. Yeah, it looks like they might be able to just slip out, which will be a good save. They can keep them for the late game. Oh, no, there they go. They may rout after that. It looks like the dwarves, they may lose this side. We've got some Dragon Slayers coming up, so that'll help even the odds against these Aran Kirlim. They do have 2 units ready to go here, both Marines. Don't know if they've used their ammunition or not. They will be able to hold the enemy at bay for a while. Let's see, do we have anything else over here? Doesn't look like it. You hear these poor Ulfang units just getting worn down with that ranged pressure. I was worried there for a little bit with that flanking attack, but there's the Outriders. They ended up coming back inside the settlement. Looks like he's got his Berserkers and Sons of Ulfang left. One last powerful force. Yeah, and it looks like they've just blown through this front line. They may have retreated a lot of their units, or at least reinforced them on this side. Looks like we got some warriors here in combination with the Marines facing down the Wardens. Got some more shield bearers, armors, unit of Ravagers still alive, but it looks like they're going to get hunted down by the marksmen. Yeah, it looks like they're going to take this hill, especially if they get reinforcements from that other side there. Looks like the Marines are getting shot. But Belegost has got this unit of Marines in good position to support the Rangers of the Girdle. Just wear them down with these armor-piercing javelins. We'll see if this catapult still has a lot of ammunition or not. That may prove vital in the final stages. It looks like they're bringing up the last of their rear guard units. They no longer need them with the Girdle and the chariots mostly gone. And here the dwarves continue to just move up the center. Although it looks like Rex is going to be sneaky, try to go around these buildings, attack the dwarfs in the back. And if these tiers down can get a good angle, they'll be able to mow down these iron halberdiers. We'll see if he ends up doing that. Looks like we got some Ember Guard moving up here. We're going to flank the Silmarillion. Now, at the beginning, I was thinking that they wouldn't be able to do much up here, but with the Dragon Slayers combined with just the hardiness of the Horde Keepers, they'll be able to grind their way through these Marines and Rangers. Those units don't have the staying power to go up against the Dwarves. And the Ember Guard aren't too bad in melee, so they'll be able to destroy this unit of Silmarillion. Oh, and I say that, there goes Remy's General. Looks like Rex has done a good job of coming in from the back. We're already seeing some possible routing of some of these units. See, they're gonna shoot anything yet? Not yet. But yeah, the defender's gonna be able to take this handily. Question is, will they have enough after that to hold the front gate? Still have some Rangers up top. Looks like the girl is still getting some good charges here against the marksmen. They're going to want to cycle in and out very quickly. Looks like they're still fighting over this hill, but yeah, they'll be able to support these units and knock that out. So it looks like the attackers on this side, they have 2 Berserkers, Sons of Ulfang, some Foragers, Bridge Wards. Oh, that's some good rear shots there from Captain Gervais into Hyperius. Let's check on this middle gate here. Yeah, Remy's done a good job of keeping this flank to basically attacking from 2 routes by himself for the most part, but looks like this is going to be the final death knell for most of Remy's army here. Yeah, we got some Wardens and Halberdiers routing. And here we have the Dwarves. Oh, they're finally getting some shots with the Ember Guard here. We'll zoom in a little bit here. As you can see, these units, as they get hit, they kind of stagger and move around in place. That means they really aren't able to engage in combat, which will allow some of these other units, like the Horde Keepers, to do extra damage. And here these Dragon Slayers are just providing the backbone that this army needs. Now the question in this middle gate here is, what are they going to do? Are they going to move all of their reinforcements to the front, try to stop them from just pushing through, or are they going to try a flanking attack? Kind of a high risk, high reward gamble. Not sure which would be the appropriate course of action here. Although with this level of troop deployment, I would almost say send them to this gate, because they doesn't look like they're going to have enough troops to attack multiple gates, so it's going to be this or nothing. Yeah, let's see here. The defenders, they have Rangers, more Rangers, some Catapult Crew, Beast Hunters, 2 Marksmen of Balar, Axemen of the Girdle. Looks like they have a Silmarillion unit. Oh, looks like he's going to reinforce that back entrance just to see if they can crush that Dwarven attack. Looks like they're out of ammunition Rangers over here. I would worry for the defenders just with the level of damage that the attackers still have. They have 2 units of Berserkers. I think the Lord Lords of the Golden Flower still kicking around somewhere. Got a pretty healthy unit of Bridge Wards. Yeah, I worry for the defenders at this point. I don't know if they have enough. They would need some medium range skirmish units. But it looks like... Yeah, it looks like Captain Gervais is going to go for the gambit. See if he can get a attack on the attacker's flank here. Maybe if they're able to roll up this side, they'll be able to push from the other side and break some of the attacking units. But it looks like the attackers are going all in at this point. Yeah, it looks like the Berserkers, Thanes, and Bridge Wards all moving in, led by the armors of the Hammer of Wrath. Looks like they got some Rangers, Warriors coming up as reinforcements. Not sending perhaps everything to that side. Let's see if the attackers are going to be aware of that flanking attack. It looks like they are. Tundra's getting his catapult in action. Leech still has some scouts left. Maybe provide some skirmishing as they move up. Let's see how Remy's doing up there on that hill. Yeah, it looks like he's going to prevail on this side. Normally this is the side where the attackers would just lose steam and die before that middle gate, but yeah, with these Dragon Slayers, they've just curled up the line or crunched through, supported by these Ember Guard. Looks like the Wardens are coming in to finish off these things, which have been fighting a long time. It just shows you the quality of this unit in comparison to something like the Ravagers. Let's see what he's got here. He's got some Tyrannus Danan, some Doneth, shield bearers, Wardens. Some of the more elite Doriath infantry still alive, which is a good sign. Ah, there they are, the Lords of the Golden Flower. Let's see how this front line's doing. Yeah, it looks like they're just going to have the sheer power. Even the... Let's see. Oh, it looks like the archers of Nogrod were there. I might have mistaken them for the Beast Hunters. No, here they are. Yeah, they've been ward down pretty well. Probably the work of these Berserkers. Well, that's good. They still have some ranged ammunition. It looks like they're going to be targeting some of the Berserkers on this side. Yeah, as you can see, these have gone out of Berserker mode while those have stayed. Oh, looks like I've missed the flanking attack here. Managed to get a good hit on these Wardens. And Leech is going to be providing the first line of defense, sending in the shield bearers backed up by Scouts of the Tree. Looks like it's just going to be a fight against spears right here. And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do what they need to. Yeah, they were going to need to get in very quickly and disrupt these back lines, but the attackers have noticed and have put up a good defense. Yeah, it looks like they kept some units in the back pocket, and now it's just going to be the gradual decline of Doriath, maybe expedited by these catapults. Let's see if we can get some good shots here. Let's see. Oh yeah, good shots into the shield bearers. Break this tanky unit. Yeah, this is painful to see. All these valiant defenders. The one last hope dashed. See if we can rout them with the catapult. Ooh, nice hit right through that unit. Yep, there they go. We will check back in on the front line here. Yeah, looks like the defenders are pretty much done at this point, especially with those good catapult shots they're getting. Any hits on the Mablung or the Tyrannus Danan will just be icing on the cake at this point. Let's see if they can... Oh... Has the Mablung just do a last samurai charge into the catapults and the scouts. This is painful to see. Oh, and in revenge, Remy takes out the Philosopher General. Yeah, but it's just painful to see. And here we see the last of Captain Gervais's poor units. The last of, looks like Lord of Belagos's units are coming up, trying to desperately reinforce the front line. Even with the surround here, these units aren't going to have the punch to weather this storm. Especially not with units like the Arquini coming in now, almost full health. Yeah, it looks like they're have some indecision here as to what to do with these last few units. They might as well charge them in, especially with all their elites now dead. Here come the warriors, perhaps a little too late. He may have been focusing on the other avenue of attack, but they should have been sent in a lot sooner. Yep, it looks like we're getting into the final stages of the battle. Looks like it's 84 to 90 in percentages. I think we'll just speed this up here, since it looks like we're going to get into more of a grindy fight. Yeah, the defenders did a good aggressive defense at first. I think it just got a little bit ahead of them once this flanking attack occurred, and also this middle gate. They should have sent these reinforcements here to keep this front line sturdy, especially these warriors. But in the end, still a pretty good siege. There goes Doriath's general. As is tradition here on Silm, thing always seems to go down either at the beginning or at the end. Yeah, it looks like they were trying to do a flanking attack, but try to get to these scouts, but it's far too late at this point. Yep. All right. Looks like we come out as the defenders get mopped up. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and hopefully you can come watch us. Y'all have a good day.